Hey guys, Brendan Snyder here and Anthony from Sound Exchange. We don't often point that out that we're filming in Sound Exchange.
We're filming in Sound Exchange.
Yeah, exactly. This is my home away from home. This is kind of your home.
My home away from home.
Yeah, your home away from home.
Actually, my home away from home. My home is my home away from home. This is they've changed. Yes.
Oh, okay.
So this is like my home now.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, not at all. I mean, who doesn't want to live in a record store?
Sometimes I'm
I mean, you
fucking
probably
tired.
don't.
You're just tired sometimes, man.
But I know I do. I come up here and hang out all the time.
It's still great.
Yeah.
When I don't have to do anything, when there's no work
Right.
to get done.
Yeah.
And you just get to look around and
No cleaning
Go through all the
records, no
stuff.
going
Oh,
through,
yeah.
having to buy a used.
just walk in and go through the walls of stuff. It's cool.
Yeah. Like you're actually shopping and looking for music. You're like, hey, what else is hidden away in this store, right? But anyway, we're back, guys, and we've got a topic for you. So it's kind of an interesting one. You've already seen it in the title, so you know what I'm about to say here. But are you a real fan, or are you an asshole fan? And those of you that are assholes, you know what I'm talking about. But it's really this idea that there are fans who love the band so much. Case in point, you guys have been watching me unbox this amazing Guns N' Roses collection given to me by a guy named Dave from California. And he is a true fan. He loves all eras. It doesn't matter the members, and he follows them solo. He follows the band, just all of that, loves it. And then you got the opposite. And we'll use like AC/DC as an example. And it's like there are people that are only Bon Scott fans, or they're only Brian Johnson fans. They can't, be nice to you if you like something they don't like. It's that sort of a thing.
That's almost tackling all of these at once, right?
Right.
So,
But we'll break it down.
Yeah.
That's just the overview.
But if you throw that one thing in, that hits every aspect. Like just Bon Scott, like Brian Johnson, whatever, man, that's cool. Don't be a dick about it.
Well, that's my
and
biggest
that's the
thing.
biggest thing. So if you take the people who only like one era or only like certain lineups, if we X that out, the two biggest problems with music today are people who think that
they like
what they like is better than you.
Right.
And that equates to, well, there's only one AC/DC and it's Bon Scott. Well, no, apparently there's two AC/DCs and one has Brian Johnson, who sold more records than the Bon Scott era, not making it better.
Right. Not making it any better.
Maybe you need to shut up.
But maybe it's good.
Maybe
a
as
different
good.
thing. It's like Van Halen. There are diehard Roth era fans, and there's diehard Sammy Hagar fans. Yeah,
I'm a fuck Hagar guy. Nothing against it.
Right. You're a Roth fan.
I'm a Roth guy.
And you're 3 years younger than me, so you came even after that.
Yeah.
You were more in the era of Hagar, and yet you're still a Roth fan.
I'm Roth all the way. There is no Van Halen. There is only David Lee Roth. And I know that's... But see,
you're
now,
one of the asshole fans.
That makes me an asshole fan. But you know what I don't do is I don't push that on you. If you're a Sammy Hagar fan, awesome. And I think Balance is a great record. For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge, notice I didn't say what it...
Yeah, that's right. No F-bombs today.
I already let out...
Oh, you did? Oh, okay.
It just snuck out, and I heard them as... So, but I like both those records. And they're great records. See you later, man.
Yeah.
But I don't know. They just...
They don't move you the same.
And I'm not going to break your balls being a Sammy guy. I'm not going to break your balls being a Brian Johnson guy.
Well, that's one of the cool things why you and I are friends. It's, I'm a huge Pink Floyd fan, and you're not.
Yeah.
You like the Roth era.
And you're not a Pink Floyd fan. That's a dick.
Right. Because there are Pink Floyd fans that are like, how could you not like this?
I just fucking don't.
Exactly. And
Sorry. I know, because I get, ooh, man, right?
Right, but I get that
oh,
way too.
Shit.
When people start telling me, how could you not listen to this? How could you not... I do my countdowns, top 10 best albums of the 70s or the 80s. And then I put mine in there, and somebody says, how could you not have Led Zeppelin in it? How could you not have this band in it? And I'm like,
why don't I have milk in my fridge?
Yeah.
Because I don't fuck with dairy. It's that simple. And you're going to come over my house, and people have done this, and they've broken my balls about what's in my fridge?
That's crazy. That's even worse, I think, than someone getting on you about
To me, they're the same asshole.
Yeah, they are. They are.
If you want to come over to my house, you want to have a cup of coffee, you better bring milk.
Yeah, I don't keep milk in my house.
And I don't have almond milk either. And I don't have cashew milk. And I don't have nut milk.
All those fake fucking milk.
I don't have any of it. I don't want any of it in my life. Okay?
Right.
You don't want... Led Zeppelin's on your list.
Yeah.
Who cares?
And I
a
do
lot
like
of Pink
the
Floyd
band.
fans... Now, this is not pinpointing anybody, and this is not crapping on anybody, but I've noticed the two biggest asshole groups that I've encountered in my life are Pink Floyd and Beatles fans.
Yeah, I don't know that they're the biggest for me, but they are definitely up there. Because I agree, because people who are huge Beatles fans, when they find out that I'm actually not really a Beatles fan, that I like solo McCartney and Ringo and Lennon and everybody far more than I actually like the Beatles, it's just like, how could you not? And you get in this debate with them, and I'm like, it's just not my cup of tea.
I'm tired of the debates.
Yeah, it's cool for what it is. I know that at the time it was breaking a lot of ground, but that's not the kind of music I listen to. You can't
I
equate.
just don't like it.
Yeah.
What can't you equate?
Well, I was going to say, it's just, someone's saying, well, how can you not like? And the Beatles sound, it's pop from the 60s versus, say, Iron Maiden or Megadeth or Van Halen. It's not that the Beatles are bad. It's just, you can't say that somebody whose interests lie in those bands, Van Halen and Iron Maiden and, Black Sabbath or whatever, is going to like the Beatles. Or people who tell me all the time, I'm not a fan of the blues. Like Buddy Guy and...
How could you not like the blues?
Right. But then they say, oh, but you're a fan of Black Sabbath. They play the blues. I'm like, no, they don't.
Black Sabbath is a rock and roll band.
Yeah,
I know what we're going to say they are.
They're a fucking heavy metal band.
I don't think they're metal, see?
Rock and roll.
They're a rock and roll band. They're a heavy, hard rock band.
No.
Iron Maiden is metal.
That is a whole other topic.
Sabbath is not metal.
I am dying to do
Motorhead, not metal.
Yes, they are.
No fucking way. Both those bands are just great rock bands.
I can't even.
We're trying not to turn into asshole fans right now.
I am a huge person.
That's like saying Guns N' Roses is glam metal.
They are.
No fucking. Oh no!
They totally,
really?
Yes.
No way.
100%.
They're a rock and roll band.
Yes, but on Appetite for Destruction.
No, there's not glam. That is balls to the wall, in your face rock and roll.
They were a glam metal band.
I can't be your friend anymore.
Yeah. I will still put them in. They file them away in glam metal. Def Leppard I put in glam metal. But what I will say is that both Guns N' Roses, Def Leppard, a number of these have elevated themselves. I would say that, yes, today we just call them a rock band.
I would call Def Leppard
Van
adult
Halen.
Contemporary soft rock.
Van Halen
right
created
now.
glam metal. But I don't
think Van Halen created. See, no way.
I think
I
did.
am 100% against this. This is a great. So we're
I know we're
veering
like
off the subject. So wait a minute.
Yes.
Maybe we should save this for another video.
We have to save this for another video.
Holy shit.
But we're going to have to segue
back into
this.
Beatles and Floyd. So
yeah, okay.
So who do you think the biggest? What are your?
Oh, the biggest ones.
Like Floyd fans and Beatles fans seem to be my biggest enemies out there. And I love you all equally.
I think Led Zeppelin fans
are your biggest.
Yeah, those are the people that I know that are into that always dog on me for not having Led Zeppelin 4 as my number one album in the 70s, or not putting it on a list, or wanting to hear Stairway to Heaven, saying this is an album I never need to hear again. It's not that I don't like it, but people just think I'm nuts for it.
Why do you have to have a number one? Does that make you an asshole fan if you or us, or you need us to have a number one album from any particular decade or year or genre? If you do, you do. That's okay. But don't thrust that upon anybody else.
Right.
Because that makes you an asshole.
Right. And then I got people that, again, I'll do these countdowns, and they will be like, I can't watch this because who are you to say that this is the best? And I'm like, it's just an opinion. Why are you getting so worked up?
We are here for opinion. There's nothing factual about this. The only fact is that you and us like music.
That's it.
I would say that's not a fact. That's not opinion.
That's still an opinion, but at the same time, it's like true. That's all.
When does an opinion become fact, though?
In my opinion,
your opinion is
does.
that I like music,
it never
but the
becomes
fact is that I like music. So you think, oh shit, so that's some heavy shit.
Yeah,
so
I know. That's a whole other video.
In your opinion, opinion never becomes fact.
Right.
So there is no fact.
In what we're discussing, absolutely not. There's no fact when I say that I think the greatest...
No, of course not.
Come on, listen, you're going to love this. The greatest rock record of all time is Appetite for Destruction. Even though I consider them a glam metal band.
Well, that's opinion.
But all of it.
Yeah.
All of it's an opinion. Guns N' Roses came up during the glam metal era. They were considered a glam metal band when they got signed. Yes, they were. And they grew out of that. I know. Articles are written about them. They were promoted that way by the label.
And then they crapped on it themselves.
And they shifted out of it. They
Yes.
grew way above it. And they did. They added keyboards and it became more rock and roll, more Stones.
They did it way before the first record even came out, though.
Well,
but
look
like that
Hey,
80,
look at Welcome to the
85
Jungle, man. His fucking hair is teased up.
I feel like they had to.
Yes, they may well had to. But look at any of the old photos going back to 86.
85,
in the club.
86, yes.
Yeah.
But then
By Appetite,
that was a rock and roll record.
Yeah.
So that doesn't you? We're veering off. We're going back. We're going back.
Right. Okay.
So back to Asshole Vans.
Yeah, back to Asshole Vans. Okay, so anyways, yeah, there's fans out there that are like that, and the idea that they can tell you that you're wrong, and I don't get that they don't see it as just being an opinion, and where is it that they think they're right? What makes them right when they're telling you that you can't be?
Because you'll talk to a guy and you say, I'm not a Pink Floyd
Yeah.
fan. Yeah, but they're the number 2
Yeah.
biggest selling album ever,
Right.
with Dark Side of the Moon. Just because factually that's the biggest selling record of all time,
Right.
does not mean that I need to like them because of that. If anything, that makes you a really shitty fan because you're not asking me to really feel it or go on the merit of the music and how the music made you feel. Your sell point is
Okay,
that
but
it sells.
But then, are they even really a fan? Are they just a fan because it sold that much? If that's how they're trying to sell it to you and not saying sit down and listen to music, turn out the lights, put on noise-canceling headphones, and just listen to it,
What's up, man?
that's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
Right?
I feel like I'm in a different country.
You are.
Yeah.
It is. 'Cause
Absolutely.
You guys are rarities these days.
That's good. What are you looking for?
Well, I want the new Stones.
Friday.
Not till Friday.
Friday?
Yeah.
Okay. I was considering the new Ringo.
I highly recommend it. This is his 4th EP that he's done in 3 years, but this one here, I love. Paul McCartney's guesting on it.
Is he?
Yeah, and then you've got Steve Lukather from
I
Toto.
heard one.
And you got
song
Joe
from it.
Walsh on it. I think all 4 of them are
His
stunning.
brother-in-law.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
Joe Walsh,
right.
Yeah.
Totally recommend that one.
And you know what also I'm looking for? Lawyers in Love.
Oh, that's a great one by
Jackson
Jackson
Browne.
Brown.
Jackson Brown. Yeah. Getting older.
Oh, no, it's okay.
I mean, I guess anybody's like that. But my top 2 are Floyd and the Beatles. They're the biggest 2 I've come across where people say, how could you not? So
Yeah.
take the names out of it. Take Floyd, the Beatles,
Yeah.
whoever, the Led Zeppelin people. Because the Led Zeppelin people are the same asshole, too.
It's really people. It has nothing to do with the band itself specifically.
Just like what you like.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, out of this whole video, and we've gotten on this before, but our mantra or motto,
Don't be a dick.
Yeah, don't be a dick.
Man.
I mean, that's really what it comes down to as music fans. And you like certain stuff that isn't popular or hip or whatever. Understand that other people have the same thing and let people like what they like.
Unless you're a Nickelback fan.
Yeah, right. And then you're wrong.
Nickelback. Yeah, right.
There you go. So see, I'm not a fan of Nickelback. I don't like Korn. I don't like Seven Dust. I don't like Coldplay. They're all very popular bands, but I can't get into them. They're
I
just
feel
not
like
my
the
cup
only
of tea.
people, if I say I don't like Coldplay, I'm not worried about the soccer moms trying to mow me down in her van.
Yeah, right. No, I'm not either. But you say you're not a fan of the Beatles or a fan of Led Zeppelin, and people freak out.
They freak out.
Yeah, Pink Floyd. People.
Just for the record, I love Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
Black Sabbath is a hard rock band.
There's no such thing as heavy metal or genres. To
I agree.
Anthony.
There shouldn't be any genres.
Oh, yes, there is.
Because genres set you in a spot where it's like racism. It's horrible.
But-
It puts you in a bad place. Because then you put yourself in this little box.
I've never thought of this before. But to me, a genre is like a definition of a word. So
It makes
if
sense.
you don't know the word, and then somebody gives you the definition, you
The
understand
word
it. So
is music.
when you, well, that means nothing. If
Yeah,
I don't like the Beatles, and you simply say it's rock and roll, well, what does it sound like? It sounds like nothing and everything. It's like that doesn't help me. And if I'm worried it's going to sound like the Beatles, then I'm not going to.
Yeah, but then I could also be the completely opposite, and I can go and say, "Oh, it sounds like fucking Soundgarden," and then you listen to it, or maybe because I told you it sounds like Soundgarden,
You don't buy it.
listen to
Right.
it.
But
Or you listen
then
to
you
it,
don't-
and then all you hear is set. So that's why I don't like to do that.
Yeah.
I don't want. Don't tell me what it sounds like
Right.
because it most likely is going to turn me off.
That's
I want to
too-
know that if something moves you,
Right.
say, "Dude, Ant, you got to check this out."
Right.
Why?
Okay.
Tell me how it moved you. Don't tell me what you
Say
feel
it
it sounds
sounds like
like.
a 90s alternative rock then.
I don't care. I don't want to hear that.
No, you don't. But there are people that if you tell that to says, "Oh, I like Soundgarden and Nirvana," and
You're
stuff.
right. So yeah.
I would want that if it sounds like '90s alternative rock.
So if I don't view it like that,
Right.
and I don't hear the night, because it's
Yeah.
also on what we hear. So
It's true.
You might hear '90s alternative rock,
Yeah.
and I hear
modern music or something.
modern rock.
Right.
So what do? That's why I just keep it easy, and I just say, hey man, it's all music.
Yeah.
You feel it or you don't. Like when people, Morgan Wade.
Yeah.
I'm a big supporter of Morgan Wade. Oh, it's country. I don't know. To me, it's not country.
It's completely country.
It's a genre that doesn't need to be put on a record that is, let me talk,
She
alternative.
doesn't. What's interesting
rock,
is she doesn't look anything
country.
like country. And so you see the album cover, and you
And
think
immediately-
one thing. I thought,
The last thing I think
Punk
of is
rock.
what she looks like on an album
Yeah.
cover, because I got lucky enough to have already heard it.
right,
So, and I fell in love with the sound that comes through her.
right,
So
right.
it just happens to be more country leaning, but I wouldn't say it's a country record.
Yeah. But interestingly, I mean, you owning the store, you don't push your views. You don't try to sell a particular record by someone. When someone comes in and says they don't know what they're looking for something for
And
someone.
I say, what do you like? What do
what
they
do you
like?
like?
Yeah, man.
And then from that, you help them pick something. But
Even
they're-
if it's Nickelback.
yeah, that's right. And you stock Nickelback.
Yeah,
You're
we
not
have a
fan-
full stock of Nickelback CDs, used and new, and a few LPs.
Right. But you've got a little bit of everything in here because you're not an asshole fan. You're someone
Yeah.
that is going to have the stuff that people want, and that's cool. Whereas there's other people that will only listen to a particular era or a particular band, and then when they find out you're not into it, they literally lose their shit. And to me, that's just crazy.
I lost a customer that was a Beatles fan because I
Yeah.
don't give a shit.
Yeah, right.
It's not giving any. So here's the other thing too. If you don't like something, just because you don't like Zeppelin doesn't mean you're giving it disrespect.
No.
Doesn't mean you don't appreciate it. It
Right.
doesn't even necessarily mean you don't like it.
Right.
It's just not your shit, man. It's not your thing.
Well, that's my thing. To be able to say it's not my cup of tea, and I can leave it at that.
how.
But
That
the
makes
people-
me want to know you and talk
Right.
music with you even
Yeah.
more.
But people that
If
will
they leave it.
right, but if people trash it and say, "Oh, this guy can't sing and he can't do anything and he's washed up and they should retire," I'm like, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to get to know you.
Yeah.
You know, you're just gonna rip on everything that I've said or that I like and make me feel bad about it.
It reminds me of you saying that the trashing on people reminds me.
Yeah.
I just saw a great meme over the weekend, and the screen is split in two, and there's a picture of just somebody yelling in a concert, and then the bottom picture is some Jabba the Hutt looking character going, "Oh, they fucking suck because it's been 30 years and they can't sing anymore," and that's the truth.
Yeah.
You're sitting at home doing nothing, listening to snippets, sound bites. You're not out experiencing something. You're not experiencing the record or the CD or the body of
or the
music as a
fans are-
whole.
yeah, or the fans around you at a concert. It's an entirely different
Yeah,
experience.
and all
to-
you're sitting there is just listening to
15
some from your
seconds.
computer speakers.
right, which could be trash.
And I am not trashing you saying you don't have the right to do that. You do.
Right.
But you're an asshole.
Right, for then thinking that that is the only way that something can sound or be. Somebody left a comment. I reviewed the new Van Halen box set, and personally, I think the levels on it are all changed. I said, I'm calling it
I
a
wanted
remix.
we got to do a video about that because
Okay.
I'm sitting with you on that idea, especially on 5150. It's a remix.
Yes,
They
See,
played with shit.
they changed the levels. And it drives me nuts. But someone went on and said, how can you do a review of this without listening to the vinyl? The vinyl sounds
It's the same master.
It is.
Okay,
It's the
so
same.
here you go. Guy who posted that, I listened to the vinyl, and I agree. It's
And-
it's remixed.
And that's why I was able to reply to that guy and say that I'd listened to it both because I had talked with you about it. I knew where you stood. I know where I stand on the CD. This, first of all, is a CD channel, so that's why I'm reviewing CDs. But again, it's an asshole fan who's saying the only way to listen to it was on vinyl.
And there's an asshole fan again. Take bands out of it. Let's
Yeah.
put format in.
Yes.
There's cassette holes out
Mm-hmm.
there now who come in here and they're like, dude, if you're not listening to it on cassette, you're missing something. Oh,
What the fuck is that
Get
about?
outta here.
No way. I completely
piece of
disagree.
tape that degrades over time. You
I-
bought a fucking 30-year-old cassette and you're going to tell me it sounds better than anything?
No.
No.
I grew up on cassettes.
In your heart it does.
Yeah, right. I grew up on cassettes and I moved to CD and I've listened to vinyl and I know the differences between it. I just have a personal preference that I think CD sounds best, but there's a lot of other factors that go into it with just ease.
Yeah, man.
And so for me, it's easier, they're smaller, and it's a nostalgia thing. That's when I came of age, the CD. But I'll buy things on vinyl, I have no issue with it. And I've got a great system that plays both, that I think my vinyl sounds as good as my CDs
yeah,
and
I don't
vice
shit on
versa,
any
so,
format. I don't, buy it how...
Yeah, you
Buy
it. Yeah, right. Be the fan. Be the fan and get the stuff.
Yeah,
But
and then
my-
don't crap on the other fan
Yeah.
for not getting the same stuff that you got. Because you're talking to a fan, so
Right.
right there, doesn't that two people that have everything
Mm-hmm.
in common because you're both fans?
That's my thing. You know, you're both fans of a band, and like Van Halen. So you got the Roth era, but the main person in that group is Eddie Van Halen, right? And you've got the Hagar years, and you still got Eddie Van Halen in there, and he's shredding up a storm. And maybe you don't like it as much.
Got Alex and Anthony too. But
No.
I mean, who am I? Whatever.
Yeah. No, of course.
I get what you're saying. I get it.
But
I
what
get
I
it.
mean is that it's not like Eddie Van Halen, the defining factor of Van Halen, was out of the band. Because I can understand where people say, oh, I'm going to go follow this instance because that sound has now changed so much. So I'm saying, if you were a fan of the band before, wouldn't you still be a fan now? Maybe
no,
it's less.
maybe you were a fan for 5150 because it sounds like a Van Halen record with Roth in it. But then after Hagar really got his mojo in there, they started to become very
poppy,
song oriented.
Yeah, absolutely.
You understand what I'm saying? With
Yeah,
song
there was
oriented.
far
I don't want to
less
have to define it. I
shredding.
hope
In
you
the
do.
vicinity of McCartney.
M.
Yeah, I know.
Over
Where?
here.
Where? I'm looking for M.
M, right here.
Oh no.
Maybe we should round it up.
Yeah, we should
That's
start to round it up. But just with finishing off that last topic there, I was basically just saying,
David Lee Roth.
yeah, I always sometimes wonder with that, are the people really Van Halen fans, or maybe were they Roth fans, and that's why they couldn't move on?
And that's okay.
Right. Whereas I'm an Eddie Van Halen fan, and so to hear him continue to shred even differently, I have no issue moving with him. I want to hear that more than the singer's aspect.
I'm a fan of the band, and I
Yeah.
wanted to hear all four of them together.
Yes.
And that's it.
And
I
it
don't
changed.
care about Eddie. I mean,
What
so
about-
I'm not looking at Van Halen as a guitar-driven band.
Okay.
Yeah, there's solos. Yeah, there's bass. Yeah,
Mhm.
there's backing vocals. Yeah, there's drums. Just because it's all about the guitar to you doesn't mean it has to be all about the guitar to me.
Correct. But it's those four things coming together, the blend of that, and
Yes.
what each one brings to it builds on the other, and thereby you can't replicate that. And I get that.
That's where I sit.
Yeah, I totally.
I feel that.
Yeah.
That's a piece of me. That
I'm-
becomes a piece of me.
and see, I think this comes down to mentality. And I'm not saying you don't have this necessarily, but in myself, I always have asked that what if. So I'm fascinated by the what ifs, meaning, oh, what if this guy had come and played with the band, or what if this guy left and somebody else came in? What would it be, right? So there are those scenarios. Roth did leave and somebody came in and it changed the formula. Absolutely 100% changed it. But I like that. I like to hear it. Even if I don't like the music, I like hearing it.
I
And
like
so-
hearing it too, but I don't like what ifs.
Yeah.
I think what ifs are detrimental to your health and your life.
So
We have
yeah.
enough to stress over.
I have plenty of stress in my life, and maybe it's because I asked the what if. But
I have plenty of stress, and I know I would get stressed more with it. I can't do it.
Yeah. But I do think that is why I can listen to a band across all its eras and all its members and find something to love within it because of that part of me. It's not meaning why other people might do that, but for me, I can listen to stuff that way because I go, oh, what if? And I see how it changed it here. It's different.
Great way to look at it.
Yeah, I'm not going to listen to this album a lot, but that's a cool thing to experience, you know. And then they reunite, and I love that stuff, you know. So yeah, I think it's all mentality.
Yeah,
when you
look
come
at it
down
how
to-
you want to look at
Right.
it, and then
But don't push your mentality on me.
don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick.
And then remember, with all of these videos, because somebody had made a comment to me last time, maybe you guys should try to be positive. I don't feel that we're being negative. I feel
No.
that we're coming apart. We're coming
We're not
out here. We're
trashing
making
any
a video,
bands. Yeah,
and we're talking shit. We're
Yeah.
having a good time.
exactly. You
We-
see the smiles on our face?
Yeah, we don't throw any. I'm not trying to put any negative anything
No.
out there, man. So if anybody
Right.
feels that way, you know, get a helmet.
Are there more
Buckle up.
More Ringo Starr records CDs out?
Yeah, he's with Ringo.
He's with Ringo.
Yep,
Okay.
the Beatles, all four of them would be over there.
Okay.
There
So
you go.
yeah,
There's
don't be a
Beatles
dick.
fan.
Wear a helmet.
Yeah, wear a helmet. Don't be a dick.
Yeah, and this isn't negative.
And wear your seatbelt.
This is about. So if
is
you
our
and I are,
PSA.
if you and I are sitting in here having this same conversation without a video in our face, is that negative? No, because
No.
people are going to get in the conversation. This is you getting in on our conversation.
The difference is we're not trashing any of these bands. We're just simply saying they're not our cup of tea, right? The opposite to this is those asshole fans are the ones that come in and trash everything that you like because you don't like what they like.
Yeah.
And I think that's the difference. And it's just basically, be nice to your fellow music fan. You don't have to like what they like, and let someone else like what they like. So, all right, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this
I like
video.
coffee.
Yeah, right. And all the mix up that we had within this, because we went a little everywhere. Inside this. But it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And that's what these videos are all about, having fun. I hope you guys had fun.
See you next time.
And we'll
Thank
see
you.
Bye-bye.